Hey everybody, welcome to Anatomy of a Movie News for this week, July 23rd. Now, really exciting for Fight Club fans. Fight Club 2 is coming out in comics, courtesy of Chuck Palahniuk. And what's awesome is it takes place 10 years after we saw the film, which, of course, came out in 99, starred Brad Pitt, Helena Bonham Carter, Edward Norton. And so Fight Club 2 is just... he's married now. He has a kid. It's coming out thanks to Dark Horse Comics. It's going to be published a 10-issue series. And I'm super excited about this. What do you guys think? Are you
My mind's
excited?
already turning. I'm like, well, if they're going to make, a sequel in the comics, does that mean there's a sequel in the film?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
technically it's been 15 years since the film. And if the comic takes place 10 years after, I think we can fudge it a little bit.
You can make that
I'm okay
work.
with
Absolutely.
that.
I mean, and all of the actors involved, at least in the first one, are still amazing.
Yeah, still working.
Still working and still in the industry, obviously. So it could happen.
It's a classic film, and I think anyone who was a fan of the first one would definitely see the second one.
Absolutely.
And then I want to talk a little bit about a new movie coming out, 50 Shades of Grey.
Ooh.
Yes.
So I feel like this is like a ways down the line, but the advertisements are starting, and I'm used to movies coming out with a trailer. That's common. 50 Shades of Grey? No. Pushing the envelope with a teaser for the trailer. They are marketing not for the movie, but for the release of the trailer.
And via Beyonce's Instagram.
Beyonce's Instagram, radio advertisements.
Which are super weird and not okay.
No. But Beyonce releasing it is very smart because they'll draw so many people.
Yeah, well, she's also involved in the project.
Yes.
She is on the soundtrack. And so in a lot of the advertisements for the trailer, and in the trailer, it's her voice. Like her, I don't even know how to
That
describe
does
it.
make me want to watch it then.
Yeah,
If it is Beyonce's voice, okay, I'll watch the teaser for the trailer.
Well, the
But
teaser is just like 3 shots.
It's
It
bizarre.
was.
It's very short. I just think it's crazy that advertisements for movies have gone so far that now we have to advertise for the advertisements.
Yeah, it doesn't even come out until February.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So we're looking at this. We're looking at similar things going on with the Hunger Games. It's just influx of get ready. I'm like, you guys, how are you going to keep this train rolling?
Yeah. Well, we will see the Hunger Games trailer this weekend at Comic-Con, which I'm sure there'll be many, many more Comic-Con stories coming out next week with just, all the news out of Comic-Con for movies because it is such an industry event. It's not just comics.
It's huge. It's taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was going.
That's great. Another fun thing that you should also look forward to, Woody Allen, famous Woody Allen, he actually just appeared on his first podcast ever. And Anatomy of a Movie, we all specialize in podcasts here, but he appeared on the Happy Sad Confused podcast hosted by Josh Horowitz, and he had a nice 30-minute sit down, talk to him, and he just talked about some highlights of the interview. He talked about how Woody Allen is usually disappointed with every film that he releases, but he's great. It's never really affected his work.
A little bit of a negative Nancy.
A little bit.
It does sound like a Woody Allen thing, though.
He's his
doesn't
own
it?
neurotic critic. I can understand that. Why Hollywood biggest actors don't appear in his movies, so he sticks with the normal. Maybe normal's not the best word, but the everyday type of actor, which I find interesting, and some of his favorite scenes in the film and his movies, other movies. So those are just a few highlights of the interview. Definitely check it out. Available on Happy Sad Confused podcast.
I will
Cool.
check it out. It's so funny because I love Woody Allen's work, and I just feel like every point he makes, I'm like, how can you think that? I think so differently from you. I love your movies. Those are not small actors.
Yeah.
They're huge actors. I'm like, we live on two different worlds, but I love his films. So.
Well, when I interviewed David Krumholtz for Anatomy, he said that he was actually offered the role in Midnight in Paris, Owen Wilson's role. And, David's been acting for years and years, but I can see why Woody Allen would not call him, a huge star, because then the studios said that unfortunately, they needed a big-name actor, so then they went with Owen Wilson to sell the film. But originally, Woody did want David to be it. So that's a little interesting fact. So I do kind of see, what he was talking about there.
Yeah, I feel like his films are big launching platforms for actors now because, I mean, Penelope Cruz won Academy Awards because of her appearances in Woody Allen films. So I feel like he starts the A-list actors that we know now.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
He helps.
But, I mean, he definitely is like a very big female actress proponent, so I love that.
Absolutely. And then another fun news, Shanghai Film Corporation is actually in a deal to order 19 more IMAX theaters.
Ooh.
Which is absolutely crazy. The general manager of Shanghai Film Corporation says, "We witnessed the demand for IMAX experience to increase exponentially as we embark on a major expansion." And as we know, the Chinese franchise and that whole industry is completely booming these days.
Yeah, I have more news on that actually. It's like we've been talking about how the Chinese like film is just going crazy. Like there's so much going on. And in addition to what Marisa just said, they're also building a $1 billion quote unquote film city, and it's supposed to host a Cannes style festival in the future. Wow. So this is happening. I think it's 3 hours from Shanghai, and they're talking with the counterparts in the Cannes Film Festival to try and create their own. But they're putting $1 billion into this, so it's going to be huge.
That's really crazy. Cannes Film Festival.
I always say
I know. Speaking of film festivals, though.
Fix that every time I do it. Just slap me.
The Toronto Film Festival lineup has been not officially announced, but we know the films that are going to be shown there, and it is going to be huge this year. I mean, Reese Witherspoon, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jessica Chastain, all their films are headed to Toronto.
Wow.
And Jason Reitman's Men, Women, and Children will be there. Jessica Chastain is playing the lead role in Miss Julie. Denzel Washington's he played a role on TV, and that stuff's gonna be there. Like it's just like he has so much happening. There's so much going on there.
So many big names.
The Daily Show, Jon Stewart is making his directorial debut. Rosewater is going to premiere there. And I have a fun fact. The last 7 Oscar winners for Best Picture were all screened in Toronto.
Wow.
And I'm really looking forward to also The Last 5 Years, which is a great musical, and that's going to be there. I mean, there's so much happening. I don't know if anybody out there read the book Wild. Reese Witherspoon is the star role of it. Cheryl Strayed, that's going to be shown there. I'm really interested to see her in that role. So yeah, Toronto is blowing up. It's really, really crazy.
They're going to have a few like diamonds, I feel like.
Oh, I mean, there'll be Oscar
gems.
winners. There'll be, smaller films that'll get distribution out of it. Like, there's going to be a lot of great stuff. And a lot of films that were shown at festivals, what we like to call the specialty box office, they're doing really well right now in the summer, which is awesome, and I love it. Richard Linklater's Boyhood is doing the best, but then we also have, Zach Braff's Kickstarter campaign movie with Kate Hudson in it is also doing well. And then Begin Again with Keira Knightley and Adam Levine is doing well in specialty box office too. And we will be covering all of those in dissections. So if you guys want to go see those, maybe take a break from all the big, huge blockbusters coming out, you can go see some specialty box office stuff. Those ones are always my favorite. Coming out this week in box office news, we have Hercules, Lucy, the Fluffy movie, which we'll see about that. Those are coming out.
I haven't heard of the Fluffy movie. So.
It's the comedian. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's putting out a movie. And I actually think it will probably do well in the box office. But I don't know if it necessarily has the strength to take over the top one, which is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, is at 91%, which is incredible. The Purge, still up there. Planes, Fire and Rescue, Sex Tape, and Transformers, all top 5 at the box office this week. I really think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it's getting such good reviews. It's such a big blockbuster. I really think it's going to keep going. And we did a dissection on it last week, and you guys can check that out if you have just seen it or if you are going to go see it. We have it online at anatomyofamovie.com. So please check it out. But yeah, other than that, that's all the news we have for this week, and we will see you here next week.